Hey y'all, how's your mama and them? This is Let's Do This, and I'm your host. And I'm joined again by Keith today. Say hello, Keith.
Hello, Keith. Oh, no, wrong thing there.
Yeah, something
Hello,
like
people.
that. So, we're making tuna salad. Now, I'm going to get you caught up. What we've done up to this point is we have put 5 eggs. Well, Keith did because he's magic like that. He put 5 eggs in a kettle with some water and salt, and he boiled them. And what we're doing is, after they've come to a rolling boil, we're letting them sit in that boiling water for about 23 minutes, so that way they end up being
Where's the lid for the tuna?
I don't know. You did not hand that one to me.
Got it.
Nicely hard boiled. They're not a really hard boil, but they're not soft boiled.
So basically what you do with that is you put your eggs on to boil, put some salt in your water, you bring your eggs to a rolling boil, turn off your heat, put a top over the pan that your eggs are in, and let it sit on that burner for, I'd say 18 minutes if you want a soft-boiled egg, 20 to 23 for a medium to hard-boiled egg. I wouldn't go any further than 23. The 23-minute mark usually works the best if you want a good hard-boiled egg, but not hard enough to where you can't peel the shell off of it.
Y'all didn't see me do that. I had to sample the celery.
You have to sample the goods before, you put them in the salad, for goodness sakes.
Mm-hmm.
Another trick, not to override you, April, but another trick that I learned a long time ago, since I'm using a can opener that is the old hand crank can opener, and it cuts the top out of the can, once I empty the tuna after draining it, once I empty the tuna into the bowl, I'll put the lid back into the can, and I'll smash the sides of the can together.
Ladies,
I don't know if you can hear it or not, but if your hands are not strong enough, get you a guy that
we need a He-Man for this job because it's a little bit stronger for a lot of us. And for you girls who are strong enough to do it, hey, honey, more power to you.
I'm screaming.
So like I said, how's your mama and them?
They're all right, I reckon.
We are cutting celery, and I'm going to then chop. I've taken 2 ribs of celery, and I'm thin slicing them, and then I'm going to chop a medium onion.
While she does that, I'm going to continue to open these 4 5-ounce cans of Starkist tuna in spring water. You probably hear her chopping celery and cutting stuff more than you will be hearing me, except for my big mouth.
I have nothing to say.
Oh, now, listen. We don't want our audience to think I'm trouble or anything.
But you are.
Ruin my bad reputation, why don't you?
But it was already ruined because you're already bad. I mean,
oh, that's what it's all about.
You know.
Welcome to the Wild Wild West. Let's do this.
Exactly. Now, my phone is on this side now, so you do have a little bit of room over here. But don't get in the way of my knife because that would not be a good thing.
No. The only thing I'm doing, folks, is just putting this tuna into the mixing bowl that she's putting the celery and onions in.
We are going to do just that. And then, once we have all 4 cans of tuna, because we're making tuna salad, and for those of y'all who are from up north,
Don't do it.
that is tuna salad.
You're going to get bad ratings.
I am.
You're going to get bad ratings.
Probably.
and reviews.
I probably will. But somebody out there is going to think it's funny. Y'all, I'm just kidding, I promise. But in the South, we have odd ways of saying things. And y'all, listen, you can take the girl out of the South, but you cannot take the South out of the girl. I am originally from Alabama, okay?
And I'm originally from Kentucky. Not that it matters, but...
And interestingly enough, we reside in Indiana. So
let's do this.
Yeah. So I realize, and I'm kind of laying it on a little thick today, but I realize that some of the things that I may say may confuse some people. So I will try, if I use a Southernism that I grew up with, to explain it or define it.
I can't say as I've ever heard the word Southernism. This is a new word.
I'm just full of them today.
I guess.
Hey, $30 words, and it's only Friday.
It is Friday, isn't it?
Yeah.
So here I go to dump the third can into the bowl. Hello, bowl. And for those of you that don't know, we are both totally blind. We cook, we clean, we play instruments, we sing, and we just do the married thing. That's just the way that goes. Ooh. Picking up that lid, I almost sliced my finger.
Yeah, don't do that.
No. That's why I gave the tips and tricks to close the can so the lid doesn't come back out of it.
Between us, we have more years experience cooking than Methuselah was alive.
That's 969 years. I don't know if I want to admit being that young.
I started cooking very young. I have about 40 years of experience cooking, maybe a little more. Quite possibly a little more, actually. But they have safety laws now that prevent that.
Not going there.
Well,
I'm not going to go there.
I'm old.
Hey, I'm definitely not going there.
Mm-hmm. I'm also hot. It's like 999 degrees in here.
No, see, it's just above 70 outside. But since we live on the 5th floor, it's just above 700 inside.
990, like I said.
So we'll have boiled tuna salad. Tuna salad. Sorry.
Yeah, tuna salad.
That's right, I forgot.
And I want to take a moment to thank the people who have created Backpack Studio. It is a wonderful app, and for those of you who love to record, and if you are thinking of doing projects that require recording, this is your app to go to. It is amazing. And the other thing that I would encourage you to try is Anchor. Okay.
For those of you who want a podcast, Anchor is your way to go.
You can look those up on your app stores. Or Google Play or whatever. I'm unfamiliar with that ballpark. But if you really want good quality, I would look into those. They would be happy to see you, and they do a really good job with these apps. And no, I am not monetized. I'm not making a penny on this. I just really like these products. So much so that I actually talked Keith into getting them, and he loves technology, but technology hates him.
Yes, it does.
But I have even talked him into trying it, so.
Okay, so all 4 cans of tuna are now in the bowl with chopped celery and onion. I am going to get a small jar. I forget how big this jar is. What was this one?
I don't remember, but it's the
smallest jar of pickle relish that you can buy that I know of.
I think it's the second smallest. There is one other that's a little bit smaller.
Well, a lot of people use sweet pickle.
We do not.
Tuna. We don't.
That is sacrilege.
Yes, it is. So I've got a really small jar of pickle relish. I would say no more than 6 ounces. I don't know for sure. I could use another app to find out, but then you guys would have to listen to all that. And this is supposed to be a cooking show and not a app performance show.
is whatever show I say it is.
Oh, well, let's do this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take
Oh, I just love it.
right off that jar, and I know it's going to call for the whole thing. So the whole jar of pickle relish has now been dumped into the tuna, and we may have a problem, Miss April. We may need to get a bigger container, because by the time I get the relish in here and the eggs, and you get the rest of that, I may need a bigger container to mix in.
Let's see. You tend to. Well,
check it and see what you think.
I could probably mix it with like that, but you might have a little bit more trouble.
I could probably do it, but me myself, I prefer a larger container to mix things in, simply because I tend to go a little bit crazy when I mix.
Yeah, that's why I said I would be okay with that, but you will probably want a bigger container.
Yeah, and I don't know which one other than the kettle.
That's going to be way much, but that's the only other option we've got.
I mean, I can probably do this. Yeah. Hopefully. I can do it, I'll just have to be really careful. Because by the time you get the rest of the onion, the celery...
Well, the celery's done. I'm just finishing up the onion.
Well, by the time you get the onion and I get the egg in there, it may be... that bowl may be pretty full. Alright. So, as you can tell, she's still chopping up onion. And we've got celery, onion, tuna, and dill pickle relish in a mixing bowl. Right now what I'm looking for is mayonnaise. And the only mayo that we ever use is Duke's Real Creamy Mayo.
Now, y'all, I have to tell y'all, okay, before I came to Indiana in February, I was a staunch craft girl, okay? And you wouldn't have gotten me to try anything other than that, because I grew up absolutely hating mayonnaise. I thought that was the most disgusting thing that was ever created, and I found Kraft, and it was good. And y'all know how it is. If you find something you like, it's like a comfortable pair of shoes. You just keep going back to it. Well, I let him talk me into getting Duke's mayonnaise, and they had an extra creamy real mayonnaise. And I thought, okay, how bad can this be? Now, technically, oh boy, this could have been really bad for me.
Alexa, check my timer.
Especially since I don't
You have 1 minute and 10 seconds left.
like mayonnaise. Y'all, I want to tell y'all, I put some of that in some tuna salad, and I could have sat there and just ate the mayonnaise out the spoon. That's how good it was. And that's a hard, that would be like me saying that I really like asparagus, and anybody that knows me can tell you I don't. That being said, though, I would eat it if I had to. Okay.
She moved up to Indiana, and doggone if I didn't get her started on things she didn't think she would ever eat.
I'm going to put the knife in the sink, and y'all are going to go with me. I got to empty the garbage. So.
And while she does that, I am going to move this bowl that's got all the tuna and stuff in it. I'm going to take this knife back out of the sink because, unfortunately, I need it.
What you need the knife for?
Alexa, stop. Actually, I don't need the knife or the kniffy or the knife or whatever you call it.
No.
I need the sink.
You
Because
do.
What I'm going to do now, I'm going to remove the lid from the kettle that had 5 eggs in it.
I'm going to step over to the side so neither one of us gets burnt.
And I'm carrying this across to the sink. And I'm going to move that cutting board just a little bit.
This is the best way to do it because it's really easy to run in all over each other in the kitchen.
Yeah, because this is, may or may not have mentioned it, but this, you couldn't whoop a cat without getting fur in your mouth in this kitchen.
I would call this a studio. They don't, but I would.
Well, yeah, well. If you've ever been in a studio apartment, you know about what the kitchen is. Take about a half of that off, and you know what our kitchen is.
Yeah, pretty much. We have a baby kitchen.
So what I've done, I've carried the eggs over to the sink.
He's running cold water over them now.
And I'm going to let that cold water run over these until they are cool enough to handle. And then I'm going to peel them, smash them all to pieces, put them back in this kettle. And then I'm going to take what's in that bowl and dump in the kettle.
You're going to need to use the rest of this mustard.
Yes.
Because there's not enough to do anything else with.
There might be.
No, there isn't.
Make another sandwich out of that.
No. No.
No, I was going to use the rest of it anyway. And that being the case, the next time we put in an Instacart order, we need more mustard.
Oh, well, yeah.
Okay. Well, I was just saying, because I didn't know if you knew we needed more.
Yeah.
I didn't until I just looked.
Well, I did because I've been watching it steadily go down.
Ah, so that's what's been happening to the mustard. You've been watching.
Well, somebody's been eating it, and I'm not going to say who. But.
No, we won't say any names like April or anybody else that lives in the house. I mean, apartment or, thing that we live in here.
It's just something.
Yes.
It is most definitely a something.
And what it is, we don't know yet.
No, and if y'all are wondering what I'm doing, I'm getting a wet wipe. We keep a few of these in the fridge. I am heat sensitive. So.
Well. Okay. So, I don't know how far you want to go with this, because all I've got to do is crack these eggs. Well, peel these eggs, smash them up, and put them in a container and mix it.
Well, I'll tell you what. Since that's all, well, no, you have to put the mayonnaise and the mustard in.
Well, I can just mention the fact that I'm going to use probably a cup to a cup and a half of Duke's Extra Creamy Real Mayo, and more than likely 2 to 3 tablespoons of mustard is about all that's left in that bottle.
I do believe those are cold enough.
They are. I was fixing to get to those.
So, I tell y'all what. Since all we have to do is just add the mayonnaise, the mustard, and the eggs, I'm going to go ahead and let this come to a close. We are going to serve this on bread. Like I said, we're going to have some tuna salad sandwiches.
Another thing you could do with it if you wanted to is take a little bit of the tuna, say a couple teaspoons, lay it in the middle of a piece of romaine leaf lettuce, and wrap the leaf lettuce around it. You'd have a good tuna wrap.
Or you could take a tomato and hollow out the inside and stuff a tomato with it. It's really good.
Yeah, and if you really want to do some work, try that with Roma.
That's beautiful.
Or just stop smoking.
My vote though is we just eat it however we can get it down.
I'm gonna eat it on bread because I'm
Me too.
tuna salad sandwich,
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so that being said, we're gonna go for now. This has been Let's Do This. This was episode 3. I am again April Fuller. I'm your host. You can follow me on Twitter at April Fuller 2. That's APRILFULLER and the number 2. Thank you for listening. I hope you've enjoyed today's podcast.
Yeah, baby, we did it.